Hi guys, I am so excited for today's video because we're going to be talking about all of my favorite romances, plus the ones I'm reading next. When I started, or like before I became a reader, I would have never predicted that romance would be my genre, because every time I had ever picked up a romance book and read the back, I was like, oh my god, this is so dorky. But something has changed within me and now it's my preferred genre, probably. Easily, actually. I read more probably romance than anything else, but I also feel like romance weaves its way into a lot of other stories as well. So I just love it. Love is one of the main facets of life, so I'll never say no to it. I just love it. Now, how this video is going to work is I'm going to go through my romances that I've read myself and liked and would recommend that people read, and then I'm going to share with you my god tier 6-star I think about these characters on the regular reads, and then we're going to do a little quick run through of the books that I have in my forefront of mind, the romances I want to get to next. And you can tell me, you can lobby for your favorite. Tell me what I need to read next. Okay, so now let's get into the books that I've read that I think some of you might like. I don't think all of these books are for every reader. There's probably books that I've read and are going to be left off of this list because I read them and didn't love them, but let's just get into it. Okay, the first couple ones I want to talk about I read on my Kindle, so I don't actually have a physical copy for you to show, but the first one, kind of starting on a somber note, is Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I loved this book. It absolutely destroyed me. I had never seen the movie or read the book when I read this, so it was a whole new experience for me. I just love the characters. Louisa and Will both won me over. I just think it's such a unique love story too, because I don't think we see a lot of wheelchair or disability representation in romance books, and this one totally blew me away. The intimacy that was accomplished in this book and these little small moments was amazing. I rated this book 4.5 stars because her family, I could not stand them. They were so mean to her. It's definitely not a lighthearted romance in any sense of the word, but it's also one of the most beautiful and unique love stories I've read. The last chapter / epilogue, I literally sobbed. Oh my god, their connection is like no other. If you can handle a crier, I recommend that one. Alright, the next one I have for you I also read on my Kindle, and that is The Long Game by Elena Armas. This book is about our main character Adeline, who is scandalized from the soccer world, and she's sent to do this project with a girls soccer team and some random farm in North Carolina. And when she gets there, someone who lives there is Cameron, who is this star soccer player that she already knew of, and she bumps into him on her first day there, and they work on this project together and they slowly grow closer over time. And this romance book is not that highly rated. However, the tension in this book is some of my favorite. I'm not sure why people don't really like it. It also was one of the very first romance books I read, so that could be why. But I just loved their banter, their tension. The way Cameron flirts is acts of service, which I don't think is shown a lot in books, and I love him. I love Cameron. He was also just came off as a really sweet guy. I don't know, there was just a lot of unique moments. They had a pottery moment. If you know, you know. I just thought there was a lot of fun being had in this book, okay? I really enjoyed it. Alright, the next book I have for you is First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. This is about our two main characters. I can never remember anyone's names. Lucy and Aiden. Aiden works for a nighttime relationship radio show, And Lucy's daughter calls into the show and says her mom needs a partner and she's lonely and she wants her mom to have a boyfriend. And then they talk after she takes the phone from her daughter, and there's just a little bit of sparks there. But the episode goes so viral that they want to have Lucy on the show. If this sounds familiar to you, that's because it's a Sleepless in Seattle retelling. So they end up having her own segment on the show weekly, and they're basically flirting live on air on a weekly basis. Who doesn't love that? I rated this 4.25, 4.5, somewhere in there. This book is very, very, very good, very well written, feels like a movie, but my man right here did not get his life together fast enough for me personally. But aside from that, I loved this book. The aesthetic, hello, it's beautiful sitting on your shelf. So good, so well written. Very, very good banter in this book. Next, I have Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. The most gorgeous covers on the romance front, potentially. I actually have her next book in this series on my TBR for this month, so I'll be continuing soon. This book is about Clementine and Luke, and Clementine is coming back to her hometown after some traumatic events, and she just needs to step away from everything. Her whole family has this farm in Wyoming that she's coming back to, a whole ranch that she's coming home to help take care of, to help work on. So she's reuniting with her dad and her brothers, and this guy right here, Luke, is her brother's best friend. So brother's best friend trope, which this is the first and maybe only book I've read with that trope, and liked it but did not vibe with the brothers' feelings about this. Anyway, she comes home and they both kind of keep bumping into each other. I think they're assigned to a similar job, so they get stuck working together. So it's kind of forced proximity, him kind of showing her the town again, them getting to know each other because they never really did when they were younger. One thing leads to another, and this book is born. These next two books are in a series, The Cheat Sheet and The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. Sarah Adams writes really lighthearted, closed-door romances. They're just very like palate cleanser romances. Very simple, sweet, straight to the point. This one is about Brie, a ballet star, a ballet teacher, and Nathan, who is a NFL quarterback, and they've been best friends forever, and they live together and everything, and he's dated people, she's not really dated many people. She's always loved him, he's always loved her, of course, but are they gonna tell each other that? No. But this whole book is them exploring that and finally admitting those feelings to each other. This book is super cute. That's the best way I can describe it. It doesn't cut super deep, but it was very sweet and enjoyable, and I love a football romance. I like football, so this was fun for me. And then this one is the second book in that romance. Same football team, but different characters, obviously. This is Derek and Nora. Nora's like an NFL agent, and Derek is another NFL player. They dated in college, and they were very much like in a very serious relationship in college, and then it suddenly broke off, and now Nora's been assigned as his agent and they have to work together. There's also like a accidental marriage in this book. I love this book because a significant portion of it takes place on vacation, and I can't exactly remember why they went on vacation. That's where like they finally get together, things start blossoming, and I just really enjoyed that setting. I did not read this in the summer, but I totally recommend. Like, it feels like total vacation vibes. All right, the next couple I have for you are basically any Emily Henry book. The two I have here currently, wink wink, are People We Meet on Vacation and Happy Place. I feel like there's an Emily Henry book for any romance reader. Like, I don't think you can count her out until you've read all of them. Personally, I have enjoyed all of them, but I know some people are like, oh, I didn't like that one, so I'm not gonna read the rest. But I truly do feel like each of them are for someone, though they are all extremely well written. Like, these are my two least favorites, but I still think they are excellent books. She writes the most realistic characters out of anyone ever. I feel like I am like watching reality TV in the sense that I'm watching somebody's life unfold, but not like with a ridiculous amount of drama. Like they feel so grounded in reality. This one is about Harriet and Wynne, who were a couple. They used to be in love. This is a second chance romance. They were actually engaged and they broke up, but now their friends are having their reunion and they have to go and pretend to be in a relationship when they've been broken up for a significant amount of time. This is actually my least favorite Emily Henry book. Don't hate me, I feel like people go crazy for A Happy Place. I'm not going to say why in this video why I didn't like it, because I don't want to shy people away from it, because again, this is probably a significant portion of Emily Henry readers' favorite book. Wasn't mine, but again, very well written. There are some quotes in this book that tore me apart. And then this one is best friends. They travel every year together. Poppy and Alex, those are the cutest names ever. This is the one that's also coming out in a show or movie pretty soon on Netflix, I think. I know it's becoming something, okay? And I know Tom Blythe is in it. That's what I do know. She is like very, I feel like someone described her as like manic pixie dream girl. She's very free, very silly. I just feel like she's so happy and bubbly. And then Alex definitely comes off as the lot more serious one, but wants to have a good time. I'm really sorry if you can hear the bugs outside. It's summer, okay? But anyway, of course, Poppy's loved him forever and she's finally trying to work up the courage. She's trying to feel him out. Does he feel the same way? Can she ruin everything by admitting her feelings? Again, both of these, including her other books. I haven't read Funny Story or Great Big Beautiful Life yet, but these two plus Book Lovers and Beach Read, the perfect summer read, okay? Every time I read an Emily Henry book, I feel like I'm being basked in sunlight. This takes place at a vacation home. This takes place on vacation in a very hot climate. So again, perfect vacation read. This one I just finished. This is about Alexis and Daniel. I literally finished this like 2 days ago. This is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. Everyone loves her. This was my first Abby Jimenez book. I rated this 4 stars. A lot of people love this book. It took a little too long for our main girl to get her life together, for me personally, but I still really enjoyed her character arc. She had a lot of growing to do and she truly put in the work. Alexis is our female main character. She's a doctor, smarty girl, and her life is just very luxurious. She lives in an expensive house, she buys expensive things, and one day she crashes her car and meets Daniel in this small town on her way home, and they end up having a one-night stand, which neither of them had ever done before. Daniel is the small town man, okay? He's so sweet, so kind, so giving. From the jump, he is just my king, okay? I love Daniel. She's very much doesn't know what normal life is like. She's basically been spoiled her whole life. She doesn't know how to cook, she doesn't know how to do anything, and so slowly a bond forms between them, trying to forge that gap, and it's really sweet seeing them come together and have such grace for each other. Alexis's family in this book is pretty miserable, but she does so much growth in this book that I still really enjoyed it. It didn't take away from it for me. And then last for my I like these romance books is Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young. This is about Sarah and Caleb, and they were high school sweethearts, got married very young, and have kind of fallen out of love. And so Sarah pitches this idea of a outdoor retreat for them to bond over, even though they've never been camping before. I really enjoyed this book. I loved the concept of that. I do think it's kind of wild, but I just love books that take place in nature, so that was really fun. And camping, both of these characters are so sweet and you're rooting for them the whole time because they deserve each other, but they just have so much baggage going on. They need a therapist. So you get to see her do the work on herself about her personal trauma to heal them back together. The grief covered in this book is so moving to me. That was almost, it is more impactful, more meaningful, and when I look at this book, I think about that more than the romance, honestly. Them being young and going through what they went through and still making it out of the other side is an impressive feat. Some of the quotes about grief in this have permeated my mind and resided in there. So good. So good. Now, I'm most excited for this part. My god tier romances, okay? These are the characters I think about on the regular. These books are what made me who I am as a reader. These are the places I escape to in my mind. I love them. Starting with our newest edition, I only have the dust jacket right now. Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. My hardcover is with my mom. She's borrowing the book right now. But this gorgeous dust jacket is still worth showing off. This book, it just came out in June. It is a love story. I feel like Taylor Jenkins Reid's other books are usually a literary fiction blend of things, including a romance. This is truly a love story. This book is about Joan, who has always dreamed of being an astronaut. She gets into the NASA program and she gets to start working with her crew, and they all grow really close. And one specific member of her crew is just kind of a mystifying person to her. She is enraptured by them. She loves spending time with them, and they have so many of the same dreams together. You get to see that story evolve over time in a setting that's not very accepting of who they are. The NASA setting is just stunning. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid for this because space is one of my special interests. So writing a love story with also space is just amazing. But honestly, the love story, spectacular. Themes about life, being alive, dreaming in this, spectacular. The crew, the found family in this, spectacular. I finished this book weeping. I absolutely loved it. Cannot recommend enough. Next, totally different, we have Heartstopper. This is like a special edition hardcover copy, but I have the rest of the series right there. So different from everything else that you're gonna see next. This is a graphic novel about a boy named Charlie who is in high school, and he's gay and has had a really difficult past couple of years in school, and he gets sat next to this boy named Nick in one of his classes, and slowly things grow between them, and it's just the most beautiful youthful representation of falling in love. It's so sweet, like sickeningly sweet. The Netflix show is amazing and perfectly encapsulates the vibes that are found in these books. I'm not normally a graphic novel reader, but these books truly moved me. I think the fourth one, I want to say, was my favorite. Just some of the topics that were dealt with were so heavy but moving, and I just think this is such a heartwarming thing to pick up. Next, some of you may not consider this a romance. I do. This is a romantasy, so technically I guess it kind of is. This is Powerless. It's right here. It says God tier, okay? Just recently went through and highlighted all my favorite quotes. This book is about Peyton, our ordinary in this world. She has no power, she's powerless. And Kai, who is the enforcer, whose job it is to banish all of the ordinaries. And early on in this book, they run into each other, not knowing who each other are. And she kind of shows him up, saves his life a little bit. And kind of similar to the Hunger Games, there are these trials that happen every so often, and she is selected for them. She's voted by her peers to be in the trials, and she has to train for them and hopefully survive in a pool of people who have ridiculous powers when she has none. And seeing that unfold is so thrilling. The tension and banter that is in this book is unlike anything you have read or will read. I've never read anything as butterfly-y as this, okay? Kai Azar, the man that you are. He is the top of my book boyfriend list. Please give this a try. And I'm not just talking about the first book. I adored 5-starred, 6-starred, the whole series. This one's kind of truly romantasy, like really strong elements of both fantasy and romance. The second one leans a little more heavy on the romance character development. And then the third one is more similar to this in that you have a lot of themes of fantasy and romance coming together. So good. Okay? Love. Next, another recent one is The X-Files by Jessica Joyce. I did not see this coming as a 6-star, potentially 5-star, but a life-changing read. Didn't see that coming. This book is about Georgia and Eli. I love their names. They were dating once upon a time, fell in love pretty young, and broke up because of Eli's obsession with work. And now, years later, they're both being asked to be the best people for their best friend at his wedding. And so now they're forced to do all these activities together to prep for the wedding. And so they're stuck together, working on these projects together. I love both Georgia and Eli so much. Georgia is a woman of my own heart. She's type A. She is very organized. She has her lists. She wants to be the dependable person in everyone's life, and Eli is trying to be more dependable, so they're working together to help their friend with his wedding. And Georgia is kind of in a limbo place in her life. She's between jobs. She can't really decide what to do, and so it's also a journey of her finding what her purpose is, what she should be doing. Seeing them grow back together is just so beautiful the way it happens. One of my favorite of all time tropes, letter writing, is in this book. Don't get me started. It's found in Fearless, it's found in another book that's coming up, and it's found in this. Nothing can match that. Another book I finished just weeping. It was so beautiful. The thing that I found most moving about this book is her desire to move on, move up, grow up, but her dread at her friendships and relationships changing around her. That is so terrifying to me. So to find it in a book, oh, so moving, so good. Please read this. Next, book lovers. Told you another Emily Henry book would be coming up, and here it is. Book Lovers is about Nora and Charlie, who are both book editors. I think they're both book editors, but like for different companies. They meet each other and they do not like each other. They're enemies, okay? Nora ends up taking a trip to a small town that is the setting for one of her author's books, or all of her author's books. And her sister, those are her favorite books. So they go on a sister's trip together because her sister is having a very busy life and they rarely get to spend time together, so it's like a little sister's getaway. So they go to this small town, and who is there but Charlie Lastra, okay? Another book. The banter in this, the setting, again, feels like the sun is basking on you on vacation. I absolutely loved it. So very quickly, there are instances of them having to be stuck together, and they're realizing their feelings for each other. Their silly banter back and forth is to die for. But honestly, like any good romance book, the shining star emotional moment is Nora's relationship with her sister. So moving, so emotional. I don't even have a sister, and I found it extremely touching. This book is it's just fantastic, okay? Next we have Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. In my opinion, I've only read 2 of Ali Hazelwood's book, but this is her best, okay? It's just so totally different than her other books. This is a YA romance, which I think is why. This book, Check and Mate, is about Mallory, who is an amazing chess player. She does have a lot of trauma that's made her kind of walk away from chess. And I can't remember how, but she like accidentally plays a game and gets thrown back into the chess world. At that game, she plays this guy named Nolan, who is the best chess player in the whole world, and she beats him. And so he tracks her down and wants to play with her and wants her to get back into chess, and for reasons I won't reveal, she agrees. And so you go through this whole journey of them playing chess together, getting better, pushing each other. The tension in this, excellent. And you know what? Nolan and Kai are cut from the same cloth. Very different plots and universes, but they remind me so much of each other. The fact that these are both YA romances and have some of the best banter in all of the land should be something to write home about. So good. Again, themes of family, supporting your family really shine through in this. This is probably the one that you're not going to have heard of. This is called Georgie All Along by Kate Claiborne. I never hear anyone talk about this book. There's one girl I follow on Instagram who rated this 5 stars, and I added it to my list, and I found it at a used bookstore, and I read it and absolutely loved it. Georgie was like an assistant for famous people in LA, and I think she gets laid off or fired, or she goes back home. For whatever reason, she goes back home. She doesn't know what to do with her life, basically, because her whole life had been serving other people up to that point. And she is staying with her parents, and she comes across her diary called a friend fic. Fanfic, okay? It's fanfic. It's a friend fic that she wrote in high school of like all the goals and dreams she had for herself, all the things she wanted to do before she grew up, basically. They're just so wholesome. It's so something I would have done myself in high school. The opportunity to romanticize anything, we have this in common, okay? So somehow she bumps into this guy Levi. I think he's like house sitting or something. Immediate tension. He is the older brother of like this guy she dated in high school. Bad reputation, troublemaker, mysterious, and so she's like not trying to get involved in that. But suddenly he's very nice. We love him. He has an adorable dog. Love a romance book with a dog in it. And somehow they make this agreement to work through this friend fic together because her best friend is pregnant and really can't do it that well. So Levi and her start accomplishing this list together and slowly grow together over things they get to do. I just love these characters so much. I found this so rooted in reality. Yes, the idea of a friend or fanfic is so silly, but it's so something a high school girl would do, and I feel like it's just so sweet that in her 20s she's going back to try and accomplish those things. It's honestly akin to Emily Henry to me in how realistic these characters are. I think more people should pick it up. I wish more people would talk about it. Okay, my last two, Beach Read by Emily Henry, and I have this beautiful special edition, okay? So in this book we have January and Augustus, or Gus, and they write two different types of books. January's writing romance, Gus is writing like serious literary fiction books. Somehow they end up being neighbors for the summer, and they strike up this competition because they both have writer's block and they need to write. They strike up this competition where they're going to switch genres and try writing a different type of book. And so in order for them to do that, they need tips on what the other author, the types of things you put in their books. They do these like writing dates where they go and show these things to each other. So cute. What a great idea. Emily Henry's banter shows up and shows out in this book. I love it. Again, characters so grounded in reality. Again, themes of grief that are so incredibly moving. Just cannot say enough good things about this. Last but not least, if you know anything about me, you know what this book is, okay? This book is what made me a reader. It's what made me a romance reader. It means everything to me, and that book is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I can't, like, what if I had not read this book? Where would we be right now? That's so crazy to think about. I watched this movie with my mom on a random summer day, and she was like, oh my god, yeah, I read this book. You should read it since you like the movie, because the movie was like cute and silly, Hallmarky, but spicy, like so good. So I was like, okay, sure. I read it on my phone and I very much enjoyed it, but I was like, this didn't change my life. Then I was like, you know what? I want to try some other things. So I read some other books and quickly realized that this book had something special about it, and I reread it. And it blew me away the second time, and since then has been a 6-star read. I've read it 4 times, I think. That's embarrassing. I think I've read this 4 times. 3 physical, well, 1 digitally, 2 physical, and once on audio. I just adore everything about this book. Again, went through and highlighted my favorite lines, quotes, everything. So this book, it's about Alex Claremont Diaz, the son of the president, the first son. And Alex has this ongoing feud with the Prince of England. Okay, they met years ago. Henry was not very nice to him, and so they just simply don't get along. And they end up at the wedding for one of the royals, and they're arguing, they're fighting, and they knock the wedding cake over. and it makes tabloids headlines everywhere for the feud, the irresponsibility of it, whatever. It's a scandal. And both leaders of the country agree that they need to basically go on a press tour, act like friends, show everyone that America and England are cool. Off they go. This is the most gorgeous, stunning romance book ever. The fact that they're two famous people, which is not relatable to me, but I find both of these characters so deeply moving and relatable to me, is amazing. People find this book to be idealistic and critique it for being too political. All books are political, really, but this one especially, it's meant to be that way, and the fact that it's a positive political book I think is fantastic. I need more of that, honestly. This gave me a glimpse of what life could be like. It's so joyful and hopeful. I cry every time I read this book. Just their story together, especially Henry's. And again, this is where I found my love for the trope of letter writing, email writing, anything in that form, writing your feelings on a page or email and sending them to the person you're in love with. Okay, those are my God tier reads. I don't take criticisms well of any of those books, especially this one. Like, I really have a hard time when people critique this book. Like, I'm sorry, but no. Anyways, now we're into the books that I want to read next, the romance books that I think could possibly make the recommendation or 5-star / potentially God tier books. These romance books are the ones that are in the forefront of my mind. I want to prioritize the ones I look at on my shelf and go, oh, wish I could pick you up right now. First 3 are actually up here. I'm not going to pull them down, but Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage, continuing the Rebel Blue Ranch series. When in Rome by Sarah Adams, I want to start another one of her series. And then Funny Story by Emily Henry is the read I'm starting today, and I'm very, very excited about that. Moving on to the books that aren't literally on my TBR, but I hope get picked. My next TBR, The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. I actually want to read this in winter, but I swear to you, this book is getting read this winter. It needs to happen. I want to read about Alaska so bad. Mile High by Liz Tomford. This book genuinely has just not gotten picked yet. I really want to read it. I am a bit intimidated by its size, but everyone loves this series and I want to love it too. I love a sports romance, so let's get into it. This one I've put off for this reason right here. These have a lot of similarities between them. American, British. This looks like the characters from this book, and I'm not saying that they're copies of each other, but I just think this is so above and beyond everything to me that I fear either this book can't possibly be good because of how much I love this one, or I'm going to be thinking about these characters the whole time I'm reading this, something of that sort. But I do really want to read it, and you know what, if I think of Alex and Henry while I read this, let's think of it as a fanfic. Alternate reality, okay? I'm down for that. Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I just bought this recently in the last couple of months. I hear great things about this. I also have Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. People thirst over this book. I feel like people's love for this book is what I feel for this book, and I want to feel that again. I want to feel that bloodthirst again. I feel like the people I watch they either love this or hate this book. I'm curious to see which camp I fall in, because I do think it's pretty heavy, whereas this is quite lighthearted. Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I need to read a Lynn Painter book so bad, but this one has back to school vibes for me, so that season's coming up, so I feel like that's in our near future. The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I just want to start pounding out her romances. I really want to get to Love Theoretically, and this is weird of me, but I explained in another video that I kind of want to read this one and whatever the other one is first before Love Theoretically, because I think Love Theoretically is the best of the 3. So I kind of want to power through the other 2 to get to that one, to know that the light's at the end of the tunnel kind of thing. Just knowing Check and Mate can't be topped. It's just hard. Ready or Not by Cara Stone. This gorgeous cover. I feel like, again, you either really enjoy this or really don't like it. I've never read an accidental pregnancy trope book, and so I'm very curious about this. These books in this stack are usually what sits right here, so you probably have seen these before. Flawless by Elsie Silver. Need to continue the series with Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. There's one book I want to read out of all of these. It's this. This is Here We Go Again by Alison Cochran. This is 2 teachers on a road trip That's so perfect for me. Out on a Limb by Hannah Bottom Young. These characters showed up in this book and were absolutely precious, and I cannot wait to read more of them. The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Everyone loves this book and I want to love it too. I want to add it to my 6-star shelf, okay? I want to be blown away. You with a View by Jessica Joyce. After reading The X-Vows and how absolutely amazing that was, I'm ready for more. Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. This is another one that I probably, if I don't finish it by the end of August, will put off until next spring summer, because to me, Italy is spring summer vibes. Sorry, just is. Again, continuing the series, I gotta read Yours Truly in order to read just for the summer. This is my goal to get done before August because I need to read this in summer. And then last but not least, in the theme of continuing series, I'm reading When in Rome soon, and I want to continue the series with Practice Makes Perfect and Big Borrow of Steel, and the 4th book is coming out in January. Those are all the romance books that I recommend to you, that I adore, that I could gush about for hours. Anyway, I hope that you find something that sparks your interest. I love reading. I love finding myself in characters and stories. I love being moved by stories. And I am sad at my old self for thinking that romance is just this silly, nonsensical book that has no meaning, when so many of these books have so much meaning to me now, have changed who I am as a person. So I just can't believe that I discarded them for so long. And I can't wait to find out what books will be next in these stacks. What do you think of the ones I shared with you needs to be next? That's all I have for you. I will see you guys next time.